Good evening to all. This is K. Chiranjeevulu from Srikalahasti, Chittoor district. Welcome to today's session from the banner of APSSTF. Andhra Pradesh Social Studies Teachers Forum. Today's session, part 2 of Indian Rivers and Water Resource. Presented by K. Chiranjeevulu, ZP High School, Srikalahasti, Chittoor district. From the banner of APSSTF. Before going to discuss in this session, please all the viewers and students and parents, teachers, everyone, it is our channel APSSTF. It's a teachers forum. So please all the viewers, please support APSSTF for your subscription. So please subscribe this channel for more social studies videos and as well as teachers enhancement, enrich, supporting technical videos also. So let me welcome to today's session. Yesterday we already discussed that the Indian rivers are broadly divided into two major divisions. That is, one is Himalayan rivers and the second one is the peninsular rivers. Is it right? Yeah. Already yesterday we have already discussed the first part, the introduction part, and the major Himalayan rivers, that is River Indus and Ganga and Brahmaputra and their tributaries. These are all the perennial rivers. Already yesterday we discussed. Today it is quite different rivers. It is called the perennial rivers. It is structure and it's floating and everything is different compared with the Himalayan rivers. Let me discuss one by one in detail. The perennial rivers. The main water divide with the peninsular India is formed by the Western Ghats, which runs from north to south, close to the western coast. Most of the major rivers of the perennials in the peninsular, such as the Mahanadi, the Godavari, the Krishna, and the Kaveri and Penna, and Mahanadi also. These are all the rivers are flows eastwards and drain into the Bay of Bengal. It is very important concept. These are all the peninsular rivers, mostly the Mahanadi and Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri. These are all flows towards the east and drain into the Bay of Bengal. That will be remember. That will be remember. That is very important point. It's very important point. That is very remember it. These rivers make deltas at their mouths of eastern coast. There are numerous small streams flowing west of the Western Ghats. That is the Narmada and the Tapati. The river Narmada and Tapati. These are the two rivers are flowing towards the westwards and drain into the Arabian Sea. You remember that, which flow west makes estuaries. Waterfalls. Let me discuss one by one. It is you are watching. This is Narmada Basin. The first one is The Narmada rises in the Amarkantak hills in Madhya Pradesh. Here, the state of Madhya Pradesh, here is a location of Amarkantak hills. Here, the Narmada river is rises the place. It flows towards the west in the Rift Valley. In the Rift Valley formed due to the faulting, on its way to the sea, the Narmada creates many picturesque locations. Picturesque locations with a very beautiful locations are formed by the Narmada river. That is about Narmada river. It is flowing towards the westwards and drained into the Arabian Sea. You remember that. The next one, Tapati. The Tapati basin, the Tapati rises in the Satpura ranges in the Betla district of Madhya Pradesh. It also flows in a rift valley parallel to the Narmada river Narmada, but it is very much small, shorter in length. Its basin covers parts of Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, and Maharashtra. These are the three states are sharing this Tapati basin catchment area. Okay, here not only Narmada Tapati, here some more tributaries of Ganga, some tributaries of Ganga, I mean Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, Ken, Son. These are all the rivers are originating in the northern part of the peninsular, belong to the Ganga river system. These are all Chambal and Sindh, Betwa, Ken, Son are the tributaries of Ganga are also rise in a peninsular plateau towards the west towards the north direction to merge to join into the Ganga mainstream. Okay, let we see the eastwards major rivers of peninsular eastwards major rivers of eastward direction of floating rivers that is Mahanadi and the Godavari, the Krishna, the Kaveri are the peninsular rivers are non-perennial. These are all the peninsular rivers are non-perennial. There is no snow, there is no glaciers, there is no melting of ice like that, like a Himalayan rivers. So these are all the depends upon the rain seasonally, rains and floods seasonally. When the rain comes, these are the rivers are flowing. Otherwise, they are all drying. Otherwise, so slow movement of the water. Let we see one by one. This is Godavari. This is Godavari river. The Godavari basin is the largest peninsular river. The Godavari is the largest peninsular river in South India. It rises from the slopes of Western Ghats in the Nasik district of Maharashtra. The Western Ghats we have in western side of the Indian western side, we have Western Ghats. You know that already we have already discussed it in the first chapter. So in that area, in that particular area, Nasik district in Western Ghats of Maharashtra, the Godavari river is rises at that particular point, a particular place. Its length is about 1500 kilometers. It drains into the Bay of Bengal. Its drainage basin is also the largest among the peninsular rivers. The basin covers parts of Maharashtra. About 50% of the basin area lies in Maharashtra. Most of the 50% of the area, the Godavari basin is located in the Maharashtra state and Madhya Pradesh. The remaining 50% is sharing with the Maharashtra and Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana. The Godavari is joined by a number of tributaries. The Godavari is joined by a number of tributaries such as the Purna, the Varda, the Pranahita, the Manjira, the Venganga, the Penganga. These are the tributaries of Ganga. The last three tributaries are very large. Each one Manjira, Venganga, and Penganga, Pranhita also. These are all the tributaries are very long tributaries, very big tributaries of Godavari. The large because of its length and the area it covers. It is it is also known as Dakshina Ganga. We have one Ganga river in northern India. At the same time, it is Godavari is called in southern in India the Dakkan Ganga, Dakshina Ganga, Dakshina Ganga. Godavari as a name of Dakshina Ganga. The next one, Mahanadi Basin. Mahanadi Basin rises in highlands of Chhattisgarh, and towards the enter into the Orissa. It flows through Orissa to reach the Bay of Bengal. The length of this river is about to 860 kilometers. Its drainage basin is shared by the Maharashtra and Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand and Orissa. These are the states are sharing the Mahanadi basin, river basin are sharing states. The next one, the Krishna basin. Krishna basin is rising from spring near Maharashtra. The Krishna flows for about 400 kilometers and reaches the Bay of Bengal. The Tungabhadra, the Koyana, the Ghataprabha, the Musi, the Bhima are the some of the tributaries of Krishna. Tungabhadra is the major tributary of Krishna. Its drainage basin is shared by Maharashtra and Karnataka and Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. These are the states are sharing the Krishna basin states. The last one, Penna and Kaveri. Penna is one of the river in South India. It's flowing from Western Ghats and through the Karnool and Kadapa and Nelluru and joined to the Bay of Bengal. Uh, at the same sense, we have Kaveri River. It is a sharing of Kerala and Tamil Nadu states. The Kaveri rises in Brahmagiri ranges of Western Ghats. The Brahmagiri ranges of Western Ghats, the location of rise of Kaveri River. It's also drained into the Bay of Bengal in south of Kadalur in Tamil Nadu. In Tamil Nadu, Kadalur, the area are joined to the Bay of Bengal. Total length of this river is about 760 kilometers. Its main tributaries are Amravati, Bhavani, Hemavati, Kabini. These are the tributaries of Kaveri, and its basin drains parts of Karnataka, Kerala, and also Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu, major state, and Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu are sharing the water of Kaveri waters. Water use. What is the use of water? So that is about perennial peninsular rivers. that is one of Narmada and Tapati and Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Penna. These are all are under um, what we call peninsular rivers. All right. Now it is time for discussing about what are the uses of water. What are the uses of water? We know the several uses. All the livelihoods are essential. All the livelihoods on the earth. Water is essential source, essential need. So water is a resource. It has outflows. It has inflows. It's a like a cycle. It is called water cycle. It is called water cycle. Uh, um, let we see what is outflow, what is inflow of water. It's a water circle. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. It's a rotating, active, rotating one by one action of surface water are evaporated, and then the precipitation, and then some water has percolated into the ground, and some water are storage some places like check dams and projects are lakes, and the remaining and at the same time we are getting the plenty of unbearable temperature from the sun due to the temperature of due to the lighting of sun and temperature of the atmosphere. The all the all the surface water is going to evaporate, turn into vapor. Vapor is nothing but water turned into vapor. It is called evaporation. Evaporation means water turned into vapor. It is called evaporation. So it is a cycle, and then automatically then precipitation occurs, and then automatically evaporation occurs, and some water is going to under the groundwater, percolated to the under layer of the outer layer of the surface. So it is a continuous circle, which is called water circle, water cycle. So now let us explore the idea of water budget. It is a budget. Actually, it's a money budget. It's a financial budget. Like that, we have a budget of water budget also, as it would apply to a small or a large region or village or any district or state or country. Every area has a which country has particular budget of water budget, which country follows the certain budget of water. They never facing the water scarcity. So let me discuss. If, for example, we have 100 rupees of money our pocket. I have a 100 rupees in my pocket. I want to go to expend it that only 100 rupees. Otherwise, I am unable to purchase more than 100 rupees. Why? Because I have the limited of my pocket money 100 rupees. Like that, we have the limited source of water. We cannot wastage of water, and we have to certain expenditure and recovery, and revenue and expenditure. It is called budget, financial budget. At the same time, inflow outflow of the water. What are the inflow resources and outgoing resources of the water? which is called, it's balancedly, we maintain the balancedly water. So we water crisis we never face in the future. So uh, first of all, inflow for any area, inflow is equal precipitation plus surface flow plus groundwater flow. These are the three air come under into the inflow. These are the inflow of the water. And then automatically we are getting water from precipitation like rains and snow, hail, and different items like precipitation includes snow, dew, hail, sleet, rain, etc. Rain, snow, sleet, and hail, and dew. These are all different types of precipitations, whatever it may be. In Telugu, అవపాతము అనేసి అంటారు. తెలుగులో అవపాతం అనేసి అంటారు. ఇది 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 అనేక రకాలుగా మంచుగా కానీ, వడగండ్లుగా కానీ, పొగమంచుగా కానీ, వర్ష రూపంలో కానీ, ఆవిరిగా మారినటువంటి ఏదైతే నీటి ఆవిరిగా మారినటువంటి నీరు మేఘాల్లో చేరుకుని మళ్ళా తిరిగి భూమిని ఏదో ఒక రకంగా చేరడాన్ని తెలుగులో అవపాతం అని మీరు లోయర్ క్లాసెస్లో తెలుసుకొని ఉంటారు. అది విద్యార్థులారా, precipitation is nothing but different types of inflow of the water on the surface of the earth. Surface and groundwater flows. Surface and groundwater flows. Outflow, evaporation, transpiration. Transpiration. Evaporation is nothing but a water get into vapor. The water turning or getting into vapor, it is called evaporation. It can happen to on the lakes, rivers, seas, projects, dams. Where is the surface water, there is a evaporation due to the temperature, due to the atmospheric temperature. The evaporation is occurs. So evaporation plus transpiration. Living things like gives off water into the atmosphere through their breathing process is called transportation. All the living things, trees, animals, so human beings, so these are all the living things are doing transportation of the water into the atmosphere. So that's why we should plant, we should maintain the forests and trees. The 33% of the area should be in forestation. So we should follow the forestation, and we should mitigate the deforestation. So automatically we getting sufficient moderate rains, through the atmosphere. So evaporation, the total amount of water added to the atmosphere from both evaporation and transportation is called evapotranspiration. These are the two terms are mixed into the evapotranspiration. Evaporation plus transportation is the evapotranspiration. That's all. Nothing to confuse. Water flowing out by a surface flows under groundwater. The percolates into the soil, and travels to the underground, and recharges to the aquarius. So the when we are getting the rain season, when we are getting the water from the atmosphere or rains or clouds, that will be the most of we should preserve, and we should maintain the mostly of the water is going to percolation into the ground, under the bannets of a surface layer. um, so we are all we know that we are using the water for agriculture. It's a essential source, essential need, essential for agriculture. There is if we have, if we have not sufficient water, we cannot produce more agricultural products. If you take any products, so the same sense, water used for domestic purpose and for domestic purpose of humans and animals also. We have to drinking, we have to cooking, we have to washing, we have to cleaning, and for both are human beings and living livelihood, lively things, and animals, and all the trees are also getting into the water. So it's a very essential need to lead our life on the surface of the earth. Water for not only agricultural purpose, so we are using the water to running the industrial missionaries, to control the radiators, to control the heat of radiators in the those are using in the industries. It's a very essential need to the industries for water. And most villages in India are dependent on groundwater storage. Most of the South Indian people are mostly depends upon the um, groundwater as well as surface water. Here, an interesting point. It is water. Water as a common pool resource. It's a very interesting. Here it's a point of common pool. Water is a common pool resource. Is it right? Are you what are you thinking? It's a common source, it's a common resource, it have a right. All the people are equal on the surface water and as well as groundwater. That is the matter of water as a common pool resource. Let me see. It's a possible in India, or we are following like that, is a common pool. Water is a common pool. Let me discuss here the water where control over groundwater is uh, linked to the land rights. Is it not right? if if for example I have with 1 acre or 10 acres of land, if I want to rig a bore, I get a plenty of water from the bore wells. It's a groundwater, it's a natural resource. I am going to use the natural resource, um, as I'm a like, as am I like, what I am doing, the plenty of water I am using. It's a groundwater is all all are sharing, all are have the same rights, same rights. So that's why here it's a common resource, common pool source resource. Here is a problem of landlords, land having persons have rights, their own land under the groundwater. సో ఇక్కడ ఈ విషయాన్ని గుర్తుంచుకోవాలి. ఇక్కడ ఈ యొక్క నీరు అనేటువంటిది సహజ సంపదగా మనం భావించినప్పుడు ప్రజలందరికీ దీని మీద హక్కులు ఉంటాయి. మరి అయితే ఇక్కడ ఇది గ్రౌండ్ వాటర్ లోపల ఉన్నటువంటి ఈ యొక్క మినరల్స్, న్యాచురల్ మినరల్స్ గా మనము భావించినప్పుడు ప్రజలందరికీ దే హ్యావ్ ఈక్వల్ రైట్స్. సో నాకు పర్సనల్ గా ఉన్నటువంటి నా ల్యాండ్ లో నేను బోర్వెల్ వేసుకుని ద వాటర్ని నేను ఇష్టం వచ్చినట్లుగా నేను వాడుకుంటే మరి ఇతరుల యొక్క హక్కుని హరించినట్లా కాదా అనేటువంటి దాన్ని ఇక్కడ ఆలోచించాలి. ఇది దట్ ఈస్ ద పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ హియర్ ఐ am explaining. So individual land owners to use water in a fair manner, so it is not a possible. Therefore water should be meant for all people, similar to roads, like rivers, and public parks, like that. Underground water is also public property, is belongs to all. So that's why I am telling here, water is a common pole, common pole source resource, common pole resource. So that is about we should regulate we should regulate the water usage, and water control usage of control is not easy. Regulation of water usage is a controlling, it is not easy. This is also because for some resource like water, electricity, oil, natural gas, etc., consumption by one person or a sector affects what is available for others. It affects the others. So some persons are using overly, that way created other persons are using a very little bit of water, or it creates a unbalance of the water usage. So it's a dispute, the usage of water, groundwater, and as well as surface water. Here one example is given here. Perumatti Grama Panchayat in Kerala. Perumatti Gram Panchayati of Kerala and the Coca-Cola company, the dispute between the Perumatti Gram Panchayati and Kerala Coca-Cola company in Kerala. In Kerala, people are fighting versus Coca-Cola company. Why? Because they are using the plenty of groundwater for preparing, producing the cold drinks. So they want to plenty of groundwater. So it's a continuous process. They never stop the usage of water. So that's why ultimately groundwater going on decreases. The level of groundwater, sir, the groundwater levels are going to decreases. Not only groundwater, the primarily health centers are not fit for drinking. So they have not getting drinking water also. So here in this dispute, they are going to Supreme Court, as on January 2014. Here the two types of judgments are given in the same topic. Here the first judge, groundwater is a public resource meant of all. It is a first judgment. At the same case, and second judgment has also given by the same court. The second judgment took a completely landowner's control over the groundwater. It's a very funny. It's a very funny issue. One case, one dispute, the same case are given to the different judgments from the Supreme Court. So well, consider through the landowners, it's a land, they have full rights of their own land. So they are using the groundwater at that particular area. So when we are going to the another perspective, it's a public resource. It's a groundwater is a public resource. As a public resource, it's a meant for all. It's a one type of judgment. Okay. At the same sense, water disputes are also still going on different between the different states and different countries. Here water use in Tungabhadra river basin, the main tributary of Krishna. Here the major river and their tributaries as given. I have already told the tributaries of Krishna: Bhima, Ghataprabha, Malaprabha, and Tungabhadra, Tindi, Paleru, Musi, and Munneru. These are the tributaries of river Krishna. Here, the major tributary is Tungabhadra river, are sharing the waters. Tungabhadra share the water by Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana. These are the three states are sharing the river Tungabhadra water are sharing. It's a still continuous disputes are coming between the Kerala and Telangana, sorry, Karnataka and Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. These are the three states are sharing the water of Tungabhadra river and Tungabhadra project. Here, it originates in Western Ghats. It's originate in Western Ghats river. Tungabhadra is originate here Western Ghats, and with a catchment area of 71,417 square kilometers of which of nearly 57,671 square kilometers are located in Karnataka state. So that is the situation of about Tungabhadra river. Let me see. The Tungabhadra basin has two parts. Here, one is the upper and middle catchment area in Karnataka. The upper and middle catchment area are located in the Karnataka, and the remaining portion, the lower portion of sharing catchment area between the Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Telangana and Andhra Pradesh states. So these are the two major basins has two parts. One is the Karnataka and another one is Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Krishna and his tributaries. Once again, have a look at Krishna River and its tributaries. These are the tributaries. Is the Krishna River going towards to flows towards the east and drain into the Bay of Bengal. Drain into the Bay of Bengal. Here we are here sharing Maharashtra and Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh and Telangana states are sharing the area and the basin, Krishna basin. So here at the cross of the Tungabhadra river and the head cross of the Tungabhadra river, we are our central government and are going to plan constructed a big project across the Tungabhadra river in June 1952. In June 1952, second 5-year plan, financial 5-year plan. The Tungabhadra Dam storage capacity gradually losses still on continuously in the 1952 onwards. The project that Tungabhadra Dam are getting water from the catchment area. It brings the lot of silt and it brings the lot of sediments, lot of silt and sand. These are all are going to gradually going to deposit project area. So that's why nearly 3,766 millions 15 years ago the capacity of Tungabhadra Dam storage cubic meters. Now it lost nearly 849 million cubic meters. We lost nearly 849 million cubic meters. We have lost. So we should clean the accumulated silt. Accumulated silt. These are the causes of losing of the water capacity, the mining and dust and soil erosion and debris. Debris means rubbish. These are the wastage of materials are poured into the dam. Automatically, the surface area going to fill up into the accumulatedly silt. So we are losing the lot of water sources. The mining of iron ore at Kudremukh and manganese in Sandur. Manganese in Sandur has seriously affected the Tungabhadra reservoir. These are the two factors are to loss of the Tungabhadra dam water. The capacity are going to decreases due to the Kudremukh Kudremukh and manganese in Sandur has these are the two factors are affected the Tungabhadra reservoir. Nearly 80% of the population depending on the agriculture. They are producing paddy, jowar, sugarcane, cotton, and finger millets and vegetables also. Paddy and sugar canes. All the farmers, most of the farmers are doing agriculture, producing paddy and sugar cane. It is paddy and sugar cane are consumed the lot of water. We know that the importance of the water to produce the paddy and our sugar cane. It needs very lot of water. At the same sense, industries nearly in the Tungabhadra basin, we have 27 large large scale industries and 2,543 small scale industries in this river basin, Tungabhadra river basin. They are consuming nearly 172 million cubic meters of water per a day. So that is the situation of the need of the water of Tungabhadra river. So nearly we have last discussed nearly 80% of the population are depending upon the water sources of Tungabhadra at the catchment area of Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh area. At the same time, here the water-based agricultural products like paddy and sugarcane is the very a lot of usage of water. They need very a lot of water. At the same sense, industries also need water. They are using Tungabhadra water nearly 172 million cubic meters of water per a day. That is the importance of that reason, Tungabhadra region. It has a dispute between Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh are still going on. Dispute the water sharing of the water. So sharing of the water issue here still continuously they are fighting. I have major rights. I have major rights like Karnataka, and at the same sense they are started to many of the check dams projects across the Krishna River, and as well as Andhra, Telangana also fighting the sharing of the water. It is a fragile situation. At the same sense, due to the industrial wastage, there are a lot of, we have already discussed that. We have a lot of industries are releasing their wastage of pollution. Here, that is the reason the most of the water is contaminated. The most of the water is going to contaminated. Here, launching of various action plans to clean the rivers. The central government and as well as the state governments also doing that work. They are doing to launching various action plans to clean the rivers. Have you heard about such action plans? Any is there any time you have here? Yes, already Ganga River curation already work is progress, still going on progress. Um, um, and how does our health get affected by polluted river water? It's a very, very important issue. We should discuss in openly. We should discuss, and we should create awareness to the public. Those are who are contaminated the water, who are contaminated the natural resource water. We are going to crisis of drinking water in the future. In the future, at present also facing the problem, drinking water problem. So think about life of human beings without fresh water. We never expect without a good drinking water or fresh water. The most of the water are contaminated. Due to the contaminated water, when we are consuming contaminated water, we are going to affect different so many diseases. So those are the reasons of human life. So human health are going to affected due to the water contamination. Due to the water contamination, due to the these are all the industries are doing the most of wastage releasing to the rivers. So that's why the most of the water is contaminated. So that is the importance of our rivers system, for drainage system of India. I hope I hope you are understanding. We are discussed two broad divisions like rivers and the same sense perennial rivers. So we have plenty of rivers. We have plenty of water resources in India as a great physical structure. Is all the perennial rivers are going to merge into the Bay of Bengal. Why? 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 It's a question. All the perennial rivers are going drain into a Bay of Bengal. Why? Why, my dear students, think about that and discuss that point. Why? Because the altitude of the peninsular plateau, the altitude of the peninsular plateau towards the east, tilt towards the east. It's the slope of the peninsular plateau. It's the slope of the peninsular plateau towards the eastwards. So that's why we have nearly differentiation to compare with the western side of the western Ghat side and compare to the eastern Ghat side. The nearly 300 meters of elevation, the differentiation of nearly 300 meters of elevation differentiation. Due to that differentiation of elevation of the relief feature of structure of South India, I mean perennial peninsular plateau, peninsular plateau. So that's why all the South Indian peninsular rivers are going to drain into the Bay of Bengal, except to Narmada Tapati. Except to Narmada Tapati. These are the two rivers, only two rivers are flowing into the western side and drain into the Arabian Sea. It is a very, very important issue. You should remember that. You should remember that, my dear students. Okay, let we see some more keywords of important keywords of this chapter. We have all the we have already part 3. That is tomorrow we will discuss in that part 3 session. Here in this session we have discussing some more keywords. That's meaning we should know that keywords. Flow resource, flow resource are never remains in a one place. Water is never remains in the one place. It's a continuously, or it's going to the down area, to the upper elevation to the lower elevation area. So to is going to replace and replaces and these are it's a going flows resource. So that's why such as like a wine, sun rays and water, generally water is a flow resource. They never stop one area. And generally we storage water at dams and check dams, and then overflow of the dams and check dams, it's also to excess of the water is going to the flow or to the another place. The next one, groundwater. Groundwater is the water that is found beneath the earth surface, the layer, surface layer, under the beneath of the surface layer, we have the such a groundwater is called groundwater. It is a water aquarius is called ground water. We are getting from bore wells, from the groundwater, from the those groundwater we are going to getting through the bores and bore wells, through the bores and bore wells. Drainage. Drainage is a word, the natural removal of surface and subsurface water from an area. The area are getting, the surface area are getting the water of the river. It is called drainage. Surface or subsurface of the water, from they are getting the area. Water sharing law. Water sharing law, the legal agreements on water sharing. Here we have already discussed that sharing of water, rivers, sharing of water, rivers water, like Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, between the Godavari, Maharashtra, and Godavari, Krishna water are sharing. The different South Indian states like Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana states are sharing the waters, and at the same sense, Krishna waters also sharing. It's a legal agreement between the